Hi, my name's Cheri. Welcome to my stamp workshop. Today I have a little sneak peek project for you. And I'm going to tell you a couple different things while I've got your attention. First, this is the copy of the January to June 2021 mini catalog. And then this is the Saleabration catalog. And this year's Saleabration, for the past several years, it's been a while, Saleabration has gone from January to March, like the first couple of days into January and then around to the very end of March. This year it's from the 5th of January to the 28th of February. So it's 2 months, but then it's going to make a reappearance in the summer. If you're in the Northern Hemisphere, swapped seasons, but it will be twice. So there'll be 2 different 2-month periods that we'll have it, but it'll be a shorter time period this year. So you want to make sure that you see everything that you want and make a plan on how to get it. And if you're with me, then I'll help you plan it, because some of my classes and stuff will include some of the Saleabration offerings. Now I can't show you the inside of this. I can show you the cover. And if you saw the video, I have 2 videos up already that I did both of them with my daughter. So we did the unboxing of some of the preview items that we were able to purchase from our On Stage at Home event. So you see everything that I've gotten so far, which we couldn't pick everything from the catalog, but it was a nice selection, and some of the Saleabration things too. And then if you have purchased from me since June on my website, not done a class, because so many demonstrators do classes that I just can't do it that way, because I'd be sending catalogs to demonstrators who Stampin' Up's already going to give them to them. And postage these days is super expensive, and these are heavy because this is like 80 pages. So if you've purchased from me on my website, then I will send you catalogs when we have them available. And I do get Stampin' Up to send me the catalogs, and then I mail them to you, because sometimes the mailing system they use, it can be a little slow, especially at Christmas. And I know what it's like to wait for a catalog, and I don't want you to have to wait. So that's how I send them. So be watching for that. And then I have my upcoming Try It class. It will post this week, registration. It's limited because my husband and I can only cut so many pieces of paper. So for that class you get, that's what I have to figure out, how many cards, but each project will use every single new package of paper. So you won't use every sheet, but every card will feature at least 1 new paper, 1 new embellishment, 1 new ribbon, maybe some new punches, some new dies, and then you supply a sentiment. So you don't have to have any particular color, because black will work with most of them. But you get to try all of the new embellishments, you get to see all of the new papers, and then in your videos, it's an online class, in your videos, you get to see, I will show you up close every single solitary new piece of paper, every single embellishment. So you get to see it all, even though you might not use it. That's why it's called a Try It, because you'll get to try it all. And then you get a really fun PDF template book, because it's also a template class for all of the designs. So in the past, I think the past 3 classes have been 10 cards. So you can either pay for the kit, where you get all of that, which is also fun because then you get to see it, or you can do just the online videos, and both of those do come with a PDF. So registration for that will be up soon. Sometimes I offer 1, and then if we get all of that cut, and there is also how much I can order ahead of time to get it all cut. And, you know, I don't want my husband to divorce me by having to spend all of his nights for several weeks cutting paper. So if you want to be in on it, you have to sign up soon. And if you're a demonstrator on my team, I do this class 3 times a year. This is the class that they get free. Like, they get all of the supplies free. So join my team, and then you don't even have to pay for it, because you'll get it free. And then we do it together via Zoom. The other classes, they get the online portions. This one, they get the whole shebang. So there's that. And then the 15th of November is the last day you can sign up for my online Snowflake Wishes class, Snowflake Splendor. So registration for that is up, and there is it's online, but you can also do a kit version. And then, like I said, I have 2 videos up. So my daughter and I hopped on as soon as we got the box. We showed you everything that was in it, and then we took like 30 minutes because she had to be at work, and then we came back and we both made a card. So this is the one that she did, and it uses the new Simply Succulents bundle. And then I did this one, and it uses the new Art Gallery bundle. So this is a second video, and we both make both of those. And then we also did just a real quick run through with the many messages. So I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to go back to my regularly scheduled programming of getting ready for some classes that I have going out. So I have to finish the curvy, keep curvy, quite curvy. And then I have to, my mom's having, she keeps calling it the move from hell. So bless her heart, they are moving, and it has been hellish. So my husband spent a whole bunch of time, as did Carissa's boyfriend, with them this weekend, and they thought they had another whole week, and then they just found out that the closing has been moved from Friday till tomorrow. So they have today to finish up all of the stuff they thought they had a week to do. So if any of you have all moved and you're in your 70s and you know how much stuff a lifetime of 70s can accumulate, you can probably commiserate with them. So I'm trying to get a whole bunch of stuff done. I didn't know, because my phone was on silent, that she had been trying to get in contact with me. So I'm going to use this Flower and Field Designer Series paper, and this is Saleabration. So this will be one of the free Saleabration papers that you'll get. You can see all of the sheets. Chris and I showed them all to you. I can tell this is one she put back because she put it back in its sleeve. The ones that I had at the end are all just laying all over the table. So it's really pretty paper. And I like that when I was done with this part of my card, I took it over, and look at how many colors. So many colors, and it all changes. Like if you put it against white, it's a really bright and cheery. You can put it against the cherry or the poppy or the red or the pool party or the saffron or the pumpkin pie, and it kept changing. And then this is just the flip side, and I wanted to have a little bit of that. So that's that. And then I'm using, there's some fabulous kits, so many great kits, but the only one that we were able to pre-buy is this is the stamp set that went with it, and it's called You Are Amazing. And I really wanted to showcase this Saleabration paper. So I took the Stamparatus, which is dirty because, like I said, I had my day kind of planned out, and I thought, well, I have time to make a couple of cards. And then when I took my phone off silent from using it as a camera, that's when I realized my mom needed me. So now I don't have so much time. So I'm just going to line this up in here. It doesn't really matter where, just as long as it's enough over, so it doesn't have any dies or anything. I have my Mary Merlot marker, and I'm just gonna get this happy birthday. I tried it with my stamp pad, and here's the deal. It would be faster, but it needed to be inked, re-inked a little bit, and I didn't want to re-ink it and then immediately do this, because sometimes it's a little bit blotchy when you're having to stamp upside down. And there goes my iPad, and people are texting again. It's just a really busy day. Do you all have those sometimes? Sometimes life's busier than others, especially when you're part of what we call, the sandwich generation, where we're needed on both sides of life. So I'm just going to press this with the Mary Merlot, and then this is Rococo Rose, because like I said, look how many colors are in this paper. And I'm going to do it again. I found that it looked the best because we're stamping on a dark color on kind of, the Rococo Rose isn't dark, but it really soaks this ink in. And because we're using the Stamparatus, we can stamp it 100 times if we choose to. So I'm just going to do it a couple more times. If you're doing it and you don't have the Stamparatus, then you can just huff on it. So press that. And look how much better that already looks just from one more. But because we've got the Stamparatus, let's see how much better it looks after one more time. It just gets darker and darker and richer and richer. And it has these little dots in the middle of the letters. And those really start to show even more against the colors, because this gets darker and the paper stays the nice rose color. I call this paper 80s dusty rose. Because the 80s just seem to be making a resurgence everywhere. Now look how much better. That's just beautiful. And I could go one more time and it would be even prettier, except I'm going to make it shiny now. So I'm going to take this little balloon marking here, and I'm going to stamp it with Versamark. So that's easy. Just put the Versamark on here, which this one could also stand to be inked a little bit. And I have probably 50 of them over there, but because you can hear my phone going off, And once I realized, like I took my phone and went from my live video that was still up there and switched over. That's when I realized people were needing me. And I'm like, well, I can get this done fast. Okay, now you could leave it like this because that just all it did was that make the rose be a tad bit darker, but I want it to be shiny. So this is clear embossing powder. This was just a scrap piece of paper. I do have a new system of how I'm keeping my scrap paper. And when I get a minute, which may be after Thanksgiving, because, you know, that's barreling down on us, and I host, and my house is not anywhere near hosting Thanksgiving, I will show you my new storage system. So I'm just going to heat this up. And if you don't emboss, I do have a how-to embossing video that I posted a few weeks ago, and it shows you different ways to emboss. But this is a really good one to see how it melts. Just get your gun hot and you'll be able to see that go from that dusty white, and then it goes all beautiful and shiny, and then it really takes that Merlot and it really pops it off that page. You can do it from the top too. I'm just doing it underneath so you can kind of see it. You don't want to do it too long. You just want to do it till it's nice and melty. And then I'm just going to hit it up here just to make sure it got everywhere. I'm just literally going to move this aside till I'm done, and then I'll put that back in. Oh, I can do it now. I never stamp on grid paper. Some of y'all, if you watch me all the time, you're probably like, where in the heck did the grid paper come from? But my daughter always stamps on grid paper, and she was just here, so she used the grid paper. Now I'm going to take my shaded spruce, which I liked this because I've been using this a lot, and I love this green, and I've been using it a lot because it's Christmas. Well, it's actually in the 70s here today. My windows are open, and I'd had a cute little sweatshirt on earlier because it was cold this morning. But now it's pretty warm. So I'm going to tell you a secret. I have put my pajamas back on because I wore all of my summer clothes are packed up. And I do have a pair of summer pajamas out. And that's what I slept in last night. And then when I found out I was going to have to go help move, I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to wear. It's probably going to cool off again tonight. But it's like 73, 75 right now. So this is tulle. And I haven't used it for a while because, again, there's been so many new things. So get a long piece of it. A little bit longer than that. Not that long. But I was hot. And there wasn't anything, and I was in a hurry, and I'm like, I'm just putting my summer pajamas back on. So I'm all dressed. I have makeup. I even have lipstick on, but I have on my pajamas. I even have earrings on. You know, it's just one of those days. We're going to go with it. So I'm going to tie this around here. You can see I've doubled it over. I have so many tulle ribbon videos. I think they even have their own playlist. I just haven't used it for a while. And I'm going to put this here. You want to make them separate a little bit because it's see-through, so we're not going to lose any of that pretty paper. But I wanted some colored ribbon too. I just didn't want to lose any of my design because it's also pretty. I'm going to tie a knot right here. And this is in the annual catalog. And then I'm going to take this Daffodil Delight scrunchy ribbon that's in the annual catalog and take another long piece, about as long as what this is laying here. I'm just going to thread it under and pretend it's all the same piece of ribbon. So just hold it right here at the knot. And then when you tie your bow, just hold the yellow just like it's part of it. And that way we're going to get some color, but the color's not going to compete with all those flowers behind. It's just going to be in the actual bow itself. And then just tie your bow. Now the tulle does smush up on itself. But once you're done, just take it. And you can see here where it's all smushy, just pull it apart. And then trim it. These are a little long over here as well. It's easier to start with a little bit too much than sit here and fight with it, because that's all we lost. And I know some of you thought I was using way too much ribbon. But these ribbon bows are so fun and so festive on this little flower card. And then you can make your yellow one be a tiny bit smaller. So the tool kind of wraps around it. And let's stick this on here. We're not using any kind of fancy dimensionals because this is going to give us all the dimension that we need. Look at that on there. That's pretty just on its own, just like that. And there's no die for this, but you know, it's just cut this baby out and just cut around it. It just takes a second. And then the other thing I like to do is when I'm doing sneak peeks and we're coming up on some possible retiring products, we don't know for sure what will retire from the holiday catalog. But laying on my desk from the class some of the classes I'm doing, actually they're from the snowflake class. Oh, I don't want to cover those up. On my other card, it's right here, but look, if I put it right here where it is on my other one, I'm gonna lose all those cherries. So let's look. This is gonna have to be a little bit different than my other one. I'm just gonna stick it right up here. And then I'm gonna mess with these because I don't wanna lose all those red flowers. On my other one, that didn't happen. I have red over here. I'm just gonna put it right up there. But I'm using, well, maybe my snowflake class isn't all the way designed. But laying there, because I think I'm using them in my snowflake class, are these. Because I like to do some stuff in my classes that are not necessarily part of the class. I mean, part of the suite. But look, I want you to, if you think that this paper might be on your wish list, and if these end up on the retiring list, look how well the greens and the oranges match this. So this is just our fine tip glue. And I'm going to put 5 of them on here. So just add 5 dabs of glue. And then I took 3 different greens because there's tons of different shapes and colors, and I wanted them to all be different because if you're only doing 5, this paper, afterwards I'm like, dang, I should have made a shaker card, but you know, I was trying to do something quick. Let's get this one. And then look at how beautiful these orange ones are, and they are perfect with this orange. And there's really too many oranges to pick from. Oh, come on. I'm trying to go fast and they're sticking to me. And it's not glue, it's just static. Where'd I put my other glue? There it is. So if you think that this paper, this free paper, is gonna make it on your list, then you might wanna add these sequins if you see them go on the retiring list, because they will be perfect with this paper. And here's my other one. And you can see what I mean about where these red flowers are. They're on a couple of different pieces, but you know, whenever you cut these papers, so I didn't want to lose. In fact, I feel like I've already lost a bit more. So I'm going to take some of this yellow that's covering it up. And that's what I mean. If I had chosen the yellow ribbon all the way, it would have covered up even more of some of the colors. But just by making this a little bit shorter, now I've gotten back some of that because the tool is see-through. So there you go. Keep an eye out for my Try It class, and I would love to have you join me. It's my favorite class that I do. It's about usually 4 videos long. In each video we do 3 or 4 cards because it'll be at least 10 in this one, because in this one we also have to get in the celebration items. So that's why I don't really have it figured out yet, because I have to look at 2 catalogs and figure out how much I can do, and then sit with my husband and figure out how many slots we can allow people to sign up for. So, and then don't forget about my snowflake class. I feel like this one's kind of gotten the jip, and it's so pretty. This class is so pretty. This isn't a card we're making in it, but because it got kind of smashed in between On Stage at Home and the Quite Curvy class, it kind of got missed. But there is just a video only and a kit class for that, both. So everybody have a great day. I'm gonna go save my mom. Bye.